Did you know that Africa is the place where the body of the first man was found? My daddy says that makes it a place where all people originated from. I'm from Africa, you from Africa, you African booty scratcher.
We make niggas disappear like that triangle about the Bermuda. They can't find his body, but they know that I'm the shooter. I say cut my sentence in half, and I'll spread a little rumor. Deal? Well, you can look in Oklahoma if you want to find them sooner.
Can't be your Superman or Captain Kirk. I'ma lay the dick, I'ma put yellow bones in Gucci skirts. Tryna flirt with me, taking off the shirts. Shine my grill when I'm feeling nice. Shake up my Sprite like a gamer. DSR ain't nothing nice. Freestyle precise, got a break. Shining bright when we in the club. Got movie stars, green up with hugs. Go see rap, move over, bud. Dripping candy fuzz, sipping pub. Ain't too many tryna run with us. Our piece cold like a berry slush. 32s on a tour bus. From wrist to ear, we crush. Y'all niggas been fucked up. Let DSR drop 10 of these. Pull the Asian on Portuguese. International pimps, we on. Blowing trees, bowl up with breeze. I stay on freeze, might make you sneeze. Causing scenes when I'm dropping strings like Jerry Lawler. Call me ice bling when I'm stepping out. Got hoes screaming, what's in his mouth? Dirty South, we puff and clap, making hoes day and niggas pout. We don't red, getting all these checks. Niggas in Kuwait got a feeling. Bitch, niggas get no respect. Got a bunch of killers that's ready to flex. Seriously, lyrically, pushing these niggas up off. If you see a bitch in me, my desert ill play let 'em be. Flip a key, dangerously. I'm a crow, you a humming bee. Trying to cap like you a G. You spoon fed, I'm out. Street sweeper, nigga, do you feel the heat? Fuck around and get your life to lead. Purple Bobcat on the creek. Deadly chemical pen and a flipping whips. Taking trips, jumping out in these yellow hips. At the bar, taking major sips. And when I smile, it's like it real. Out in the battlefield. 2-piece near Navy SEAL. Just a roast with a country grill. Me and the clique fighting over the sergeant tug. It's braided on me. Marines behind me if you're plotting on me. Piece of chain of blind Russian army. Got slugs that'll hit you up and slugged up. Had it up, drugged up, talking down on the tub. Against your face, hood. Tub, in Sergeant Tuck. Putting boys in they fucking place. Attending hut, screaming my face while my rims marching place. Sipping sound like diamond struck. My fifth fell and it can't get up. Addiction roll, let weed up. Grill full of crushed and crisp. Ice green, twink spin. Deadly when I grab the pen, show naked skin, no block I been, I'm ballin', boy, don't make me tell you I'm cold, ho, got the fofo, cause a nigga about to go tonight, still purple stripes, stay high as a kite, I watch the fights, I break, I earn stripes, I dress, I blow pipes. Call me or Jelly, bitch, I might molest the mic tonight. Yo.
Y'all know that I flip my screen. Y'all know that my blood gets me. Hit the club, lick it clean. I'm a fit for codeine. Damn, Paul, niggas keeps me lean. Y'all know that I went through flex. Don't stop flex with my thumb edge. One time flex, they fuck like sex. When I hop out the legs like a plate. Swing it wide out with wheel. Rims don't know how to do. Crawling low just like an eel. How get lane like a killer. Fat bastard is my name. Gripping grain and turning lane. I feel blame with my street range. DS Trump wants about my chain.
For my essays, look out for that boy Apostle. He's coming soon, baby.
Shit. Caution up in this bitch.
Everywhere I go, I hear shots, gas pop. How should we handle this? Born in the land of the scandalous, but I survive and overlook dodgy slums. The fools trying to get my shit so.
At 11 o'clock on the nose, I hit the flow, kiss my hoe. Stumbles to my kitchen and like the roach. Exit the front porch to catch them on the breeze. While I'm lit with my keys, motherfuckers video free. Now I'm on my hands and knees nervous. From the screaming, somebody heard us. But who the fuck would want to swerve us? Unless they heard about the hidden stash. All the goodies they thought I had, they runs into my pad. Nobody budged in my complex as they blast down the door. And I'm wondering hell if I'm next. My host yelling since I can move, I just laid. Fool had his twin gauge planted at her real game. What's the sound I heard? If they shot my bitches on, that's my word. These niggas got the nerve, taking everything they can, coming at me sideways. Got me laying down in my own driveway. Damn.
Everywhere I go, I hear shots, gas pop. How should we handle this? Born in the land of the scandalous, but I survive and overlook dodgy slugs. The fools trying to get my shit.
I got to make my money in abundance, but stay humble. Keep my head on the swivel for these niggas in the jungle like me, who see what I see. Cause nigga, it's all about family and keeping artillery, filling the attic. Automatics, I'm acrobatic. It's a habit, nutting up on niggas that kick a static in the street. Peg nuts, handlebars, don't feet. Deep roam the concrete from Compton Ave to the beach. White boys get beat for TTs and scooter keys. Can't fuck with the little ass G's. Hunting for cheese, I hits many degrees at any angle. Throwing up the west, motherfucker, we can tangle.
Well, alright, citizens of the ghetto, we are back to claim the west side. And I am the West Side Connection, home of them extra real niggas named Caution.
Everywhere I go, I hear shots, gas pop. How should we handle this? Born in the land of the scandalous, but I survive and overlook dodgy slugs and fools trying to get my shit took.
My money's on show. I creep with the needle on E, banged up in the LTD. I need a whole ounce of yay to start off the date. Nigga hopped on the 10 speed and banked down a one way.
Nigga, what you got?
Homeboy, what you need? It's the way out in hell to make the chest bleed. The fiend stay sparked up, the whole hood is marked up to let fools know this motherfucker sold up. Standing on post trying to serve my shit. The little homies patrol the hood just for the hit. It had to be the wrong time and the wrong place. Nasco bass said standing right in my face. Just like that, hit the ground, motherfucker. I couldn't do shit and I can't play a sucker. The neighborhood clubs got the upper hand. So if it's my time to go, I'ma fall where I stand.
Everywhere I go, I hear shots, gas pop. How should we handle this? Born in the land of the scandalous, but I survive and overlook dodgy slugs and fools trying to get my shit took.
Everywhere I go, I hit shots.
West Side. Caution up in this bitch, South Central lost scandalous, funk.
Free gas mixtape, nigga.
I'ma get a motherfucking rap. I'ma get a big body. Hey, walk one motherfucking we got it. I'ma get a mansion and a second deposit. The fucking second deposit came with the property. Beans on the property with no mileage. Fresher than the motherfucking no stylist. Well educated in the 10 college. The blue 100 thin, that's a 10,000. Stack it in the safe and the shit pile. Young niggas in the hood stick wildin'. Don't come around here with that fuck shit. Don't come around here and get your throat kicked. Good talking with these hoes, that whole shit. Walk with one money, then the win got it. Walk with one money, then the win got it. Walk with one money, then the win got got it. I woke up one Monday, then the winter got it. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. Woke up one Monday, then the winter got it. Woke up one Monday, then the winter got it. Woke up one Monday, then the winter got it. I woke up one Monday, then the winter got it. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride.
This is J-Sess exclusive.
Woke one Monday, then the winter got it. Made my mind up, so I thought about it. Thought about the shit so fucking fast. Only thing I want is straight cash. Only thing I'm selling one bag. Don't tell nobody cause these niggas rats. Don't tell nobody many niggas snitch. Don't tell nobody most of these bitches ain't shit. I'm it. Back road sloppy, don't you see it? Pull up in a new six. And the motherfucker all step it. And that motherfucker got a lipstick. Pull up on your bitch like give you kiss. Pull up on your bitch, give you dick. After that bitch, you over with. Woke one Monday, then the winter got it. 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 I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. Woke one Monday, then the winter got it. Woke one Monday, then the winter got it. Woke one Monday, then the winter got it. I woke one Monday, then the winter got it. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a ride. I'ma get a bit of lamb and a match.
Free gas 26. We win.
Yeah, you fucking punk. I'm finna take your motherfucking beat and go nationwide with it, bitch. Don't never bite the motherfucking dick that feeds.
Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking, duck my dog from profit deposit. I'll give him a ring.
What's up to my gangsta bitches charging niggas all about their profits? What's up to my niggas slanging dope or dodging freaking coppers? Yes, this crazy lady, y'all about it for the niggas I think. How the fuck you think I love you more when I'm a player, dick? All this shit I'm saying, I'm not playing. Fuck you, law and boy. Actions speaking louder than my words, but you still making noise. Nigga, let me tell you, homie, fuck I put the wrong click. Turn your volume up and listen closely to this gangsta bitch. Why you out there faking on that Jackson, man, we coming up, smoking on them sweets, filled with ink, getting real buck, talking all that shit, moving maker, I might say you are nationwide shit, on your ass, ho, we moving far, now buying this shit, profit pocket, triple fucking six, smiling, clowning, upside down and frowning back about our shit, manipulated, that's a fucking blue, just had to let you know, closing up the chapter, trick that's after bitch, that's all she wrote.
Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'll give him a ring with the triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'll give him a ring with the triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'll give him a ring with the triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'll give him a ring with the
These niggas be playing, hating and running they fucking mouth. They get in the studio and that's all they rap about. We told them y'all things, you smoking that cocaine. I heard you do primo, bitch. You can't move the juice, man. I'm blowing these boys square and snowball, ACL, and ride clean on your hoes while you walk with nappy hair. Keep running your mouth, my nigga. I'm constantly getting rich, and after you hear this, I bet you will ride it. Bitch. Look at the rest of my flush on the make. Bullets up after another bullet place. Bodies are falling up under the floor. Ear is trying to crawl at the door. What did you fuck with the triple 6-4? No one we blessed with the princes of war. Don't sympathize with you niggas no more. Blow your fake players up with a C4, but boy. Leave for your slow behind your ear duct. Me leave you plugged. Me leave you suffocating, soaking in your fucking blood. Scarecrow fucking bastards back up off of me. Knock off your dust up puffing on my butt. You got castrated cause you got no nuts.
In your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit.
six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck.
It's gonna be another deadly night. More valid, more silent as we stroll this bitch. Boy, got down on my infrared, got them on the road. Always perfect, clean as fuck. Smile as I roll down the street. Your lyric was weak as fuck. So, ho, I just stole your beat. Country, man, I've been thinking, man, I know what we got right here. A nigga that shoot, a nigga that leg that get his name out there. Fuck, man, this bitch is wicked and water flag. He need to stay the fuck up out of my hood. And Chris, I'm trying to buy a pack. I'm getting low down in 30 with my 30, just like you and LB. I'm rolling your hook with my nose dirty, blasting that infrared at your ass. Ain't you scared, ho? Tangeray, mad dog, and I'm full of flow. I ain't never we can set our bodies in the same clothes, a bitch. Never we can ride the same rides on the road. Just looking at you, I'm flavor till you broke as fuck. Triple fucking six, give me a whistle, run the dog, bitch.
In your face, got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my dog from profit deposit. I'm giving my wrist a duck. Triple fucking six in your face. Got you shaking up my triple fucking six in your face.
You motherfucking bitch ass fuck. You would never ride the motherfucking rap. We don't roll, nigga. On roll things, ho. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You ain't gonna never wear Versace like a nigga. Drink Chris out like a nigga. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Most niggas drinking that.
You is a weak ass nigga. Why you talk all that shit? Shit talking motherfucker, movie making, action character ass, bitch ass, weak ass, trick, ass, boy, train ass, booty, motherfucker, dick sucking, ass, nigga, you a motherfucker, pay that ass,
nationwide, bitch. You better ask some motherfucking bad hoe. Billboard bound, home fucking town bound, bitch.
Nigga ain't got no money, you broke ass.
You motherfucking $2 ass nigga. I break it down to 150, motherfucking hoe.
You primo smoking motherfucker.
You motherfucker bitch. You milkshake ass nigga. I'm staying up, hoe.
You bitch.
I heard you had AIDS, you weak motherfucker.
You sipping motherfucker straight dick going on these motherfucker dirty ass brown hoe, hoe, hoe.
Fuck all these hoes.
Yes, 3 motherfuckers sick. Bitch.
Poppin',
Yeah. Poppin', bitch. Poppin', bitch. Yes, sir. Poppin', bitch. Yes, sir. Poppin', bitch.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your host, Vino the Most. Back for another classic in the book of the SGI Talks. Treaty of Payne's Landing in 1832. Plus an eyewitness account of the treaty signing. Make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know I'm so glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again.
Treaty with the Seminole, 1832. May 9, 1832. 7 Stat. 368. Proclamation, April 12, 1834. The Seminole Indians, regarding with just respect the solicitude manifested by the President of the United States for the improvement of their condition, by commending a removal to a country more suitable to their habits and wants than the one they at present occupy in the territory of Florida, are willing that their confidential chiefs, Jumper, Fuckaluztia Hadjo, Charlie Amartla, Koyhadjo, Haladia Marthla, Yahajo, Sam Jones, accompanied by their agent Major Fagan, and their faithful interpreter Abraham, should be sent at the expense of the United States as early as convenient to examine the country assigned to the creeks west of the Mississippi River, and should they be satisfied with the character of that country, and of the favorable disposition of the Creeks to reunite with the Seminoles as one people, the articles of the compact and agreement herein stipulated at Payne's Landing on the Ocklawaha River, this 9th day of May, 1832, between James Gadsden, for and in behalf of the government of the United States, and the undersigned chiefs and headmen for and in behalf of the Seminole Indians, shall be binding on the respective parties. Cession to the United States of lands in Florida, etc. Article 1. The Seminole Indians relinquish to the United States all claim to the lands they at present occupy in the territory of Florida, and agree to emigrate to the country assigned to the Creeks west of the Mississippi River, it being understood that an additional extent of territory, proportioned to their numbers, will be added to the Creek country, and that the Seminoles will be received as a constituent part of the Creek Nation, and be readmitted to all the privileges as members of the same. $15,400 to be paid by the United States. Article 2. For and in consideration of the relinquishment of claim in the first article of this agreement, and in full compensation for all the improvements which may have been made on the lands thereby ceded, the United States stipulate to pay to the Seminole Indians $15,400 to be divided among the chiefs and warriors of the several towns, in a ratio proportion to their population, the respective proportions of each to be paid on their arrival in the country. They consent to remove to, it being understood that their faithful interpreters Abraham and Cudjoe shall receive $200 each of the above sum, in full remuneration for the improvements to be abandoned on the lands now cultivated by them. Blankets, etc., to be supplied. Article 3. The United States agree to distribute as they arrive at their new homes in the Creek Territory, west of the Mississippi River, a blanket and a homespun frock, to each of the warriors, women and children of the Seminole tribe of Indians. Blacksmith. Article 4. The United States agree to extend the annuity for the support of a blacksmith, provided for in the 6th article of the treaty at Camp Moultrie for 10 years beyond the period therein stipulated, and in addition to the other annuities secured under that treaty, the United States agree to pay the sum of $3,000 a year for 15 years, commencing after the removal of the whole tribe. These sums to be added to the Creek annuities, and the whole amount to be so divided that the chiefs and warriors of the Seminole Indians may receive their equitable proportion of the same as members of the Creek Confederation. Cattle to be valued. Article 5. The United States will take the cattle belonging to the Seminoles at the valuation of some discreet person to be appointed by the President, and the same shall be paid for in money to the respective owners, after their arrival at their new homes, or other cattle such as may be desired will be furnished them, notice being given through their agent of their wishes upon this subject, before their removal, that time may be afforded to supply the demand. Cattle to be valued. Article 5. The United States will take the cattle belonging to the Seminoles at the valuation of some discreet person to be appointed by the President, and the same shall be paid for in money to the respective owners, after their arrival at their new homes, or other cattle such as may be desired will be furnished them, notice being given through their agent of their wishes upon this subject, before their removal, that time may be afforded to supply the demand. Indians to remove within 3 years. Article 8. The Seminole Indians will remove within 3 years after the ratification of this agreement, and the expenses of their removal shall be defrayed by the United States, and such subsistence shall also be furnished them for a term not exceeding 12 months after their arrival at their new residence, as in the opinion of the President, their numbers and circumstances may require the emigration to commence as early as practicable in the year 1833, and with those Indians at present occupying the Big Swamp, and other parts of the country beyond the limits as defined in the 2nd article of the treaty concluded at Camp Moultrie Creek, so that the whole of that proportion of the Seminoles may be removed within the year aforesaid, and the remainder of the tribe, in about equal proportions, during the subsequent years of 1834 and 1834 and 1835. In testimony whereof, the Commissioner, James Gadsden, and the undersigned chiefs and head men of the Seminole Indians, have herunto subscribed their names and affixed their seals. done at camp at Payne's Landing, on the Ocklawaha River in the territory of Florida, on this 9th day of May, 1832, and of the independence of the United States of America the 56th. James Gadsden Toko Samartla, or JNO. Hicks, his ex-mark. Haladi Amartla, his ex-mark. Katja Tustanuke, his ex-mark. Jumper, his ex-mark. Ola Adamiko, his ex-mark. Fuchta Lusta Hajo, his ex-mark. Hichidamiko, his ex-mark. Charlie Amarthla, his ex-mark. Ieniha, his ex-mark. Coa Hajo, his ex-mark. Yaha Martla Chup Ko, his ex-mark. Ar Payakai, or Sam Jones, his ex-mark. Mokish Shilaranai, his ex-mark. Yaha Hajo, his ex-mark. Mikonoha, his ex-mark. Witnesses: Douglas Vass, Secretary to Commissioner. John Fagan, Agent. Stephen Richards, Interpreter. Abraham, Interpreter, his ex-mark. Cudjoe, Interpreter, his ex-mark. Erastus Rogers, B. Joskin.
So that's the Treaty of Payne's Landing Creek in 1832. And right now, what I'm supposed to bring up is the eyewitness of that treaty signing. And we're going back to the legendary long-lived Aunt Bessie Payne, where she's going to drop some good information about what she witnessed in front of her house during that time. So make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know, I'm so glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend and do it again.
Works building into a guest house. So here's the newspaper article I have, and it's very interesting. And I'll make some comments maybe as I go along. One Seminole War survivor, aged negress in Texas, who saw the struggle in the Everglades. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Territory, November 18th. Of course, this is before Oklahoma became a state. The death of any aged Indian takes from Indian history some of its romantic details and puts them beyond recovery, for they are not written down nor printed. In this connection, it will be interesting to know that there has been discovered recently at Fort Clark in western Texas a woman known as Aunt Betsy Payne, Payne, who lives with a small detached remnant of the Seminoles in that vicinity. Aunt Betsy Payne believes she is over 100 years old. So, of course, 1899, she was born in the late 1700s, probably 1790s. Her extraordinary memory of important historical events that she says she has witnessed and is able to describe with singular accuracy makes strong testimony in support of the opinion as to her age. She stoutly maintains that she has Seminole blood in her veins, though her color and features indicate that she is certainly a full-blooded African. And, you know, that's kind of a biased and racist statement. You know, who's to know just because of her sun-baked skin color. She evidently has lived with the Seminoles all her life, and she is regarded highly by the Indians because she is the widow of Chief Payne, a famous warrior. I don't think they're talking about King Payne. They may be talking about one of his sons, because indication here is in this article is that he was living decades after King Payne died, but she's living in the same area. White people, especially the officers at the fort, treat old Aunt Betsy with much more than ordinary consideration because she is the mother of a race of soldiers. She's had 7 sons in the Union Army, and for her descendants, 23 are now serving with the United States regulars. She possessed a picture cut from the St. Louis paper showing a group of 14 of her boys, as she calls them, wearing Uncle Sam's uniform and wrote to Cuba. So she had some of her sons or grandsons that participated in the Spanish-American War. Probably went up Kettle Hill with the Teddy Roosevelt and his command. That's several of them did. Aunt Betsy has lived about the frontier forts for more than half a century, and owing to her motherly attributes and her skill in cooking, she is favorably known to a great number of Army officers, many of whom have given to her little testimonies of their regard. She has a silver dollar given to her by General Phil Sheridan and a handkerchief that was presented to her by General Robert E. Lee. On the walls of her cabin, there are many pictures of Army officers whose names are familiar to every schoolboy. Aunt Betsy says that she has a grown girl when the trouble occurred between the United States and Spain over the invasion of Florida by General Jackson. So she's talking about the First Seminole War in 1818. Okay, so she was a grown girl when the trouble occurred between the United States and Spain over the invasion of Florida by Andrew Jackson. If she was not alive at that time, she's certainly well informed as to the history of that particular period. Spain ceded Florida to the United States in 1821, and by the terms of the treaty made between the great powers, all runaway slaves were to be returned to their masters upon proof of ownership. Aunt Betsy says that one exception was made to this clause in favor of the Negro wives of the Seminole warriors. She distinctly remembers that King Payne told her all about this matter and asked her if she would not like to be his squaw, warning her at the time that the white soldiers might make lying papers and take her away unless she is consented to the arrangement that he had suggested. So it's definitely not King Payne, probably one of his sons. I'm sure if it was Micanopy, I'm sure they would have said Micanopy. She says that there was constant trouble between the Indians and the white settlers from the time until the Treaty of Payne's Landing, made May 9th, 1832. White men continued to encroach upon the lands of the Seminoles and had men committed crimes and charged such outrages against Indians. Negroes were daily fleeing from their masters on the plantations and seeking safe refuge in the Everglades behind the Seminole village. So, at this point, they consider the Everglades everything, I guess, south of I-10 in Florida. Wise old chiefs, among was her husband Payne, foresaw that war was inevitable, and those who had faced Jackson's riflemen on the battlefield had good reason to fear the results of such a conflict. The peace party argued that the whites were trying to provoke hostilities to that eager frontier settlers might find an excuse to exterminate the Indians and steal their lands. Therefore, Chief Payne and his followers were in favor of accepting the conditions offered by the United States commissioners and avoiding the dangerous war by moving to Indian territory, the treaty was made. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. Lost my place here. I try to print out that I can read it. So anyway, yeah. Okay, sorry. Aunt Betsy says that she saw the great chiefs and the white men signing the paper under a large tree in front of her husband's home, that she is sure that she was mother of 4 children at that time. That would be on the Payne's Landing on the Ocklawaha River. So that's where she's at, and that's apparently where the village was at. She certainly must have witnessed this important event, for the facts that she state them in close accord are written history. Osceola, who was the most influential and picturesque among the younger leaders, positively refused to touch the paper as he withdrew in sullen silence to the shade of the tree near where Aunt Betsy sat nursing her baby. He was afterwards joined by Alligator, Micanopy, Jumper, and several other warriors who supported his sentiments. So, I mean, there's always a argument whether Osceola would have signed or not, but under Seminole hierarchy, he actually didn't have the authority because he was not a major chief. He was a war leader at that point. Who knows anything about this hunting ground under the setting sun that the white man says is so good? If it is such a fair land and so good, why doesn't the white man go and possess it and let the Seminoles alone in their land of warmth and sunshine? Said Osceola. Excellent point. We all know, said Jumper, that if it gets colder when the sun goes to sleep, the rivers are ice and the grass and trees cannot grow. There can be no hunting grounds in that dark land. The white man lies. He wants our country. We were here before he came. Let the white man go to that good land he tells the Seminoles so much about. And I love his words here. As for Jumper, he was born here by the beautiful rivers, and here he will stay and die with his arms in his hands. Jumper, I believe, was Eufaula Indian. May have actually been born in Alabama, but hey, that's close enough. Aunt Betsy says that our young chiefs talked in the same strain, uttering their sentiments in a low tone, and that after a short time, they slowly withdrew from the crowd and disappeared in the forest. That night, Aunt Betsy told her husband that the treaty amounted to nothing and that the war was sure to come. Chief Payne said that if she were right in her conjecture, the Seminoles were doomed, for it was evident that the white men were determined to possess all Florida. There was a bare semblance of peace for the next 18 months, during which period many chiefs were kept in a friendly mood by the payment of small sums of money and great promises that were to be fulfilled as soon as the Senate ratified the treaty. So she's right there. It did take a long time for the Senate to actually ratify the treaty. The war party among the Seminole Indians increased in strength, and Osceola, supported by several other chiefs, continued to display obstinacy, making little effort to conceal hatred of the white people. Osceola's conduct finally so alarmed General Thompson, who was the Indian agent in Florida, that he ordered him arrested. After lying in chains for 6 days, Osceola affected to repent of his former rebellious attitude and declared himself ready to accept the conditions offered by the commissioners and became ally and friend of the whites for all time. And she's actually correct on that. I had to do a little research on how long they actually held Osceola, and it was about 6 days, from what I've been able to find in the Indian Affairs papers. Anyway, about Osceola, he outwitted his captors in diplomacy, for there is not a shadow of truth in his words, and revenge was the only sentiment that prevailed in his breast. He proved himself the Roman warrior of his tribe, thoroughly endued with unrelenting hatred towards the foes and scorning danger in every form. No chief was better fitted to avenge the wrongs that his people had suffered at the hands of the eager frontiersmen. Bloodhounds were used in the great Indian hunts, were carried on for 7 years in the Everglades of Florida. The Southern planters said that there were more runaway Negroes in the swamps than Indians. Well, that's an overstatement, I believe. Aunt Betsy proudly boasts that the Seminoles were the first abolitionists in America, and she thinks history should credit them with humanitarian ideas in advance of the white people of the North. That's a pretty bold statement, but I really like what she's saying here. It's obvious that even 100 years old, her mind's very sharp. The greed for the land of the Seminoles and the desire of the Southern planters to destroy the refuge of runaway slaves involved the United States in a cruel and bloody war that lasted 7 years and cost the country $40 million and the lives of 1,446 soldiers and 1,500 settlers. Yeah, that's a footnote added, but that's actually correct too. Aunt Betty had stood on the field of battle, and she has hungered for weeks and marched through the Everglades with a child on her back, often within hearing of the baying of the fierce bloodhounds, in whose white fangs she knew there was no mercy. She had seen villages burned and children torn to shreds by dogs, and yet Aaron Fortune has left her in the old age, kissing the hand that smote her, and proud of her 23 descendants now fighting for the same flag that flies over the ashes of her wigwams and the mangled bodies of her warrior husband 60 years ago. So her husband died in war. Doesn't say. I don't know. Wondering if her husband was John Hicks, who was a major Miccosukee chief. The old woman says that she lived on the warpath, moving from camp to camp with her children after the battle for 7 years, following the fortunes of Osceola, Billy Bowlegs, and other famous chiefs. Her old eyes fairly glittered with rage, and she clenched her bony fingers when she described the conference and the treachery of Colonel Jessup, who induced Osceola to attend the meeting under a flag of truce, solemnly plighting his honor for the safety of the distinguished foe. Osceola was no sooner surrounded by the Americans than he was arrested. The haughty warrior rebuked General Jessup for his perfidy and then presented his naked neck, telling him to cut it and see the blood of a brave man. So that, I think that's Osceola saying, go ahead and cut my neck and I'll show you the blood of a brave man. The Seminoles were soon found another leader and counted the war in defense of their country. Excuse me a minute, this tight print's pretty small here. The American soldiers had found a foe men worthy of their steel, and many generals whose names had commanded victory on other fields suffered defeat in the swamps of Florida before General Worth's bloodhounds tore the flesh from the bones of the last defiant Seminole. This real faint print here, but this is very, very good. No Negroes were scalped, says Aunt Betsy with fury. No, not bless you, your life, honey. That means Indians they brought with them from the plains in flight. Us knew well enough that every Negro was worth a handful of gold. Interesting in this old woman, one cannot avoid the conclusion that the Negroes cut the big figure in that terrible war. When Chief Billy Bowlegs was captured in 1842, actually, he surrendered in 1848, Aunt Betsy gathered her children about her and went with her people under a guard of soldiers towards the setting sun. The government settled the remnant of Seminoles who had arrived the long war on a reservation in Indian Territory. Aunt Betsy's sons enlisted in the United States Army, and in order to be near them, she lived for more than half a century among the western forts. A few Seminoles are living on the tract of land near Fort Clark. As to just how they came to be there is one of the next page affairs of the government that is past finding out. That's another story. There are several old Negroes and many old Indians among these people. Aunt Betsy says that they have been there a long time and that they own the land. They dwell in comfortable cabins and cultivate small fields and gardens, selling much of their produce to the soldiers at Fort Clark. All of the old Indians support Aunt Betsy in her opinion as to her great age. They held her in the highest esteem as the authority in matters connected with the history of the tribe. Her eyesight is dim, otherwise she is a well-preserved woman. Someone having suggested that the old woman deserved a pension, she quickly replied that there are many people more in need of government assistance. Her boys, she said, kept her well supplied with everything she desired. And that is a very neat newspaper
Without
article
plan membership.
with great historical quotes, if they're true. And I probably think they are. And one more thing, there's a website. It's the Seminole Indian Negro Scout, Seminole Indian Negro Scout Cemetery Association. The webpage, I'll have it in the notes. This is it right here. They had a family reunion every year in Brackensville, Texas. I haven't heard of it recently. So I don't know if it stopped since the pandemic, but they have a place, Medal of Honor recipients, some that are buried. There's
And we coming to the end of the Treaty of the Payne's Landing in 1832, plus eyewitness accounts of the treaty signing by Aunt Bessie Payne, as you just heard. Her wonderful eyewitness account. Thought this was a legendary bill right here with some good information. You get to see the treaty, exactly how it's written up. You get to see who all was involved with the treaty. And you also get to hear a Black Seminole that get questioned. That gets questioned about as far as what she is. As far as the news reporter, well, excuse me, well, but not the news reporter, but as far as the news editor. You know what I'm saying? As far as the news editor, basically came at it like, well, you look like or the reporter. Let me say the reporter. I'm tripping. I'm over here looking and thinking about stuff. Okay, so the reporter is the one that put it out there and say, well, you do look like an African. And she stepped in and said, well, I got Seminole in my blood. Insinuating that, hold on. No, I'm Seminole. Now, I want to bring this up into the game. This is the same area down there in Bracketville in a southwest Texas town. And it's the same, and this is the same people. And what I wanted to point out with this was this person right here, Dub Warrior. He says, people say there is no such thing as a black Seminole. So he's saying it like, well, I'm a black Seminole, but a black Indian, but people saying it like it ain't no such thing. Like, hold on, like people saying it ain't no such thing, but but I am that. You know what I'm saying? What he gonna say? And the truth is that there has always been black Indians. We are the proof of that. And that's what I wanted to point out. I wish I could zoom in on that, but I'll have to get that a little bit better and get it a little bit better for the for my little intro thing. Get my little intro thing a little bit better. But yeah, that's what I wanted to point out, because not a coincidence tried to bring this up just because of the editor is saying right here, the Warrior and the Wilson are the keepers of an extraordinary history. So it's extraordinary. It's not ordinary. It's extraordinary history. Once nearly lost to the ravages of time, they are African Seminoles. So that is but then right here you put the dash and then black Indians. But the reporter says African Seminoles. That's not the people saying African Seminoles. So, not a coincidence. Try to, what it do, milestone thoughts, hit the mall, everything he bought. What it do. Not a coincidence. Try to bring up sources like this by saying, well, the editor said this, the editor says African. No, that's not them saying it. I'm so glad that he brought this. And he shot himself in the foot, and I'm going to always use this paragraph right here. I'm going to always use this third paragraph. Man, we're just getting this motherfucking treaty out here, you know what I'm saying, for the people, you know what I'm saying, so the people can look at it, just have it documented on my page, on my channel and shit, and just having Aunt Bessie talk about that eyewitness account that she witnessed about it, and, put this out here also. Ain't nothing too big tonight, man. I'm chilling. I'm first to watch this movie with my girl and shit. Y'all just want to put this little information out here, man. That's it, though. But just like the Warrior say, people say there is no such thing as black Indians, said Warrior, and that's funny how his last name is Warrior, who has Seminole cousins in Nacimiento, Mexico. The truth is that there has always been black Indians. We are the proof of that. And I'm going to end on that note, man. Make sure that you stay pulled up and rolled up. I'm so glad that you showed up. To comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again.